And welcome back to our second segment of the show, Guillotines and Guitars here in Hartsville, South Carolina. We had a great guitars segment. We talked a lot of good stuff in there, man. You need to listen to it. Educate yourself from us, because we learned you something.
We're going to learn something.
We're going to learn you something. We taught you something
today. Always do.
All right, so we on the Guillotines. We're talking.
Or usually we probably make people more stupid.
No, I don't believe so.
We slow traffic down a little bit.
we misinform off the right information at times.
That's right. Well, everything is off the cuff, and we sometimes we look stuff up and read stuff, and sometimes we just go by what we think our memories are, and sometimes our memories are right, and sometimes they're wrong.
That's right.
And sometimes it's funny when they're wrong.
Yeah. See, that's ain't nothing wrong with it.
That's right.
So we're just gonna keep on keeping on. You know, life's a garden. Dig it, man.
Oh my God.
There we go.
All right, so Guillotines. We're talking about movies or documentaries that has to do with music bands.
Carry on, Chris. Carry on. What
music bands? Have you ever heard of those?
Oh, the music bands. Those are the ones that plays. What's the word again? Songs.
Yes, that's the music bands. But we're talking about any documentary or movies that deals with bands.
Music bands.
Music bands.
I'm going to start using that now when I'm talking to somebody. Have you heard that music band?
And before you out there say anything, yes, it's not horror. We used it as a guideline. It can be.
Somebody might have something horror related.
Yeah. So this was Kathy. This is Kathy's choice. Colbert.
Kathy. Yeah, I think that's how she pronounces her last name.
We picked this topic off of last week's viewer's choice when we piggybacked off it, and this is her choice. What? What we do? Who we ride?
We piggybacked.
Piggyback. Is that Sebastian's cousin?
Did I say who we riding?
No, yeah, you did, but you said
who were we riding?
We piggybacked.
Who?
Piggyback.
I said piggybacking.
Did you? Okay. All right, I'll give you that then. You want to do a shot before this part?
Yes, I do. What we got, Trey?
Doesn't sound like you need to do a shot.
I know. Who are you pooping
We're doing
on?
something a little bit different.
I don't know, Scott. What are you talking about? We still talking about
That's okay,
90
I'll
seconds ago.
I'll wait. Go ahead.
Trey's chain is changing color. Let's go.
All right, yeah.
He's what?
Oh, my God.
This segment's shots brought to you by Carol gave me this. This is a company called, is that 8 Veil or is that just Veil? It's called a watermelon spirit pop. They're supposed to be popsicles, but they were in the refrigerator, so we're going to drink them.
I wonder how much alcohol is not
frozen?
in here.
It's supposed to be frozen, yeah. You've been talking so much, it was frozen, but now it's melted.
Damn it.
Cheers.
All right. Get that fly out yours, Scott.
That son of a gun had some booze in it, buddy.
Man,
Actually, John, it didn't.
that has zero booze in it.
Was that just like a watermelon? That was an Otter Pop.
It's got alcohol in it.
That was an Otter Pop.
What? Yeah,
It has alcohol in it. It just ain't up to yours.
Where's it at? It was not found in my cup.
It was a popsicle, so I think it was made for one person, and we just split it 4 ways. So.
Chris said he didn't get any alcohol in his cup.
Nothing.
What percentage is the alcohol in that?
I got.
Trey?
Let's see. I'll come back and do. I'll give everybody shots of something else later.
Please.
Yeah, please.
Because that was
8%.
Oh, my God.
My goodness, man.
Ooh, y'all be safe driving tonight. 8%.
We just drank a wine cooler or something.
16 proof.
See, I mean,
All right, well, Carol, thank you. We
thank you.
We
Carol.
can't say anything.
I had to get it out the fridge.
What was the name of that?
A watermelon spirit pop.
I bet you get tore up off of those, don't you, Carol?
I've never had one.
Let's say that so we never get those again.
I didn't get that one.
Well, who got it?
A good thing you've been gone for a year, Carol. So we don't have to damn worry about getting anything like that again.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
That's
He
right.
just brought the show down.
I'm trying to Chris his Uber driver ass, but he not be so drunk when he gets in the car.
Anyway, all right, moving on to guillotines. We're talking about what
I hit the wrong button. All right.
he's got so many buttons back there. I don't blame him. I mean, if the audience could see what he does, he's got so much going on back there. He's got panels, he's got monitors, he's got buttons. He's got to change camera angles when we talk.
Like you just saw.
Yeah.
He's got a lot going on. Anyway, so we're going to the guillotine segment.
That's okay.
Trey.
Don't I mean I was enjoying you guys talking about me, but go ahead.
I just cut that. He's chopping.
I know,
away.
it's kind of
all right.
like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to talk about my coin here.
No,
Right.
I'm
Well,
just saying,
you know,
we're
since I do all the editing, I can go home later and just do a whole segment by myself and cut it and put it in here. I won't do that though.
We appreciate everything you do. I do anyway. I don't know about
we do.
Scott. Scott
We do.
acts like
if you
it's a
can
problem.
cut Chris out, the show will be a lot better.
We'll cut him out. We'll leave that ponytail though.
I got a ponytail. I bonded up.
No, it's out.
Band it up.
My hair.
All right, what topic are we on?
I need hair nets. I don't know. Guillotines. Oh, yeah. Even though it ain't going to be scary, but we're going to talk about this topic.
Well, like we said before, the guillotines. Well, first of all, this is our show. We can talk. We can do whatever we want to.
Anything we want to.
But the guillotines. This topic still is involving movies, even if they're not scary movies. So if one day we want to talk about a Back to the Future, we can have a topic about Back to the Future.
Trey,
Yeah.
that gold is rubbing off on that black shirt.
Well, I'll make it better.
Oh my God.
How about it?
Always surprises. You got Lucky Charms back there?
Well, like I said before,
You got pea
that's me.
crabs?
No, that's me pot of gold.
He ate so much oysters this past week. He got pea crabs back there laying everywhere. Real off topic. I got to
here
say.
we
I
go.
got
Here we go.
to say it, man, because it was so interesting. So, quick story. Off topic. A buddy of mine was eating oysters this past weekend, and they cracked them open. There was these tiny crabs in there. And
Who was that eating them?
A buddy of his.
buddy of mine, Scott Gardner Boys Barbecue, and
There was tiny crabs.
tiny crabs
Inside the oyster?
and he said they were for luck, which is true. But I took a picture of it because I know Trey has been eating crabs all.
Not crabs, oysters.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he was eating oysters all last week, and he educated me. He said, "Oh, those are pea crabs. They pick an oyster and stay with them for the rest of their lives. Even after the oyster dies, they feed off the oyster, and they stay in the shell."
Yeah, they actually they join the oyster when it's still in their larva stage. So they're just spend their whole life
so
there.
if you're eating an oyster,
Well, they're not like inside the oyster. They're inside the oyster shell. It's a little pink crab or a little white crab with a little bit of pink on his back.
if you're eating that oyster, do you eat that crab too?
No, you open the oyster, you'll see the crab inside of it. And
So what you flick the crab off? What do you do?
yeah,
Have you ate a crab?
I don't
Well, not a
eat
pea crab,
oysters, so I don't know.
No, I think that if for me, at least for the ones that I had, and because I sent him a picture back of a few that I had in my bushel this week, and I tend to not eat the ones that the crabs were in, just because I know that if the oyster dies, if the oyster dies, the crab starts feeding off of its gills, and I don't know if the oyster was dead before I cooked it,
But I mean, so when you see the crab, what do you do with that oyster? You just throw it away?
No, you eat the oyster.
That's what I just said. For me, I just don't, because I don't know if the crab's been eaten on it. I don't, you know what I mean? I just go, okay, you guys. I just say you guys live together and you died together and you're buried together. The rest of them that don't have crabs in them, those are the ones that I
He
eat,
was
yeah.
put down humanely, Scott.
But so
Well, he was steamed.
Alive.
do most people eat them?
I don't
when
know.
they see the crab in there.
I don't eat oysters for one. I damn sure ain't eating the crab that's been feeding off his feces all his life. But anyway, that was a quick story. That was just interesting to me.
There you go. Yeah, I educated
Chris. Interesting to me too. I've never heard that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about this.
They're pea crabs. They're also called. I think they're also called oyster crabs, but pea crabs is like the name.
Yeah, that was cool.
So you can actually, this is interesting to me. You can actually open up an oyster that you're fixing to eat and see a little crab in it.
Yeah,
a pea crab.
Yeah.
That's been with that oyster for all its life.
Yeah.
And so
they know each other. They on first name basis.
That's what they look like.
Hey Fred, man, what'd you eat, man?
Look at her.
Tastes funny. Yeah,
right, but so Trey, you don't eat them. You discard those.
I do discard. I discard that crab and that oyster. Just because.
Okay, but do people actually, if they open up an oyster they're going to eat and see a crab in there, do some people?
I don't know.
Yeah, I seen a lot of oysters being eaten the other night, and they didn't give a damn if that crab was in there.
Did they eat the crab too? Or did they spit the crab
Chris
out?
did.
I think that's what he wants to know is do people eat the crabs?
Yeah, Chris.
Well, that's what I wanna know.
He's like, it tastes like salt. You know, it tastes like seafood.
I'm not talking about you, Chris. You have
No,
different
Chris
type of
Gardner,
crabs.
not me.
Oh,
He was
but
talking to
you have
himself in
different
third
type of
person.
crabs. I'm not talking about that. But
Oh, here we go. All right, let's move on from the crabs. Shoot the breeze! That's right. We got to move on. So, we are talking about band.
Exactly.
you don't. Yeah, that was dead
Damn,
on.
because we got on pea crabs.
Movies about bands.
I'm still.
Movie- we're talking about-
I'm still
Documentaries.
on pea crabs because
We,
I'm gonna go home tonight and I'm gonna research some of this because this.
All right.
I love it that he's not interested.
I am.
I thought he was joking at first, but in
No,
a few minutes, I'm
no,
like,
He is going crazy. Pea crabs, oysters, they live together.
No, I didn't know there was crabs that actually fit.
Yeah,
Anyway.
they're buddies. They're homies. You know, they live together.
Well, they're not.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not homies. If one of them is eating,
Well, no.
off the carcass of the other one.
no,
they're not.
He eats what if the
they're
oyster
not
filters.
They're not parasitic. They actually, the oyster oysters are known for to being a natural filter. So the oyster opens up and it filters water out. I'm gonna sound like a nerd here again, but it's fun. The oyster filters things out, and the crab is there to eat what the oyster is filtering out or not filtering out. I don't know either one, but when the oyster dies, the crab will start feeding off of the oyster's gills. That's why I don't eat them when I open them up, because I don't know if the oyster was dead before I cooked it, right? So, because obviously they're both dead when they've been cooked, but I don't know if it was dead before and the crab has started eating on him. So I just let them go. I just say, you guys you're buried together.
Scott, you've never eaten oysters?
I never have.
Never
Really?
tried them.
Never have. No.
I've never tried them either.
I know what this
Because
thumbnail is going to be called.
No, I don't. I've seen people eating oysters and it looks like they're sucking snot out of a damn.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I'm like, no.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I
I can't hang with that. But
I can't either. To me, it looks disgusting.
Yeah.
But and I know a lot of people like oysters,
I like
and that's fine, But to me,
we got to get off the damn oysters. We got to move on.
I like to steam them. I like to fry them, but my favorite is oyster stew, and that's when you put them in a pot with their juices and some milk.
With their
and,
snot juices.
and I put
so it's all
and I
salt.
put crackers and
So
like I just hot up a loogie soup.
Yeah, so when you take your ladle,
Slime.
yeah, it's like slime.
no,
Like William
oozing
drinking that
off
damn shot of Scott.
Oh my God!
Jason's.
no, we don't need to skip. Don't talk about that.
I'm with you though.
You know how
I'm
my
with you.
stomach is.
I can't stand it.
All right,
All right.
show's over.
No, right. We spent 15 minutes. I
Before we
regret.
even got on the subject,
I regret bringing
it
that up. God almighty. I was just trying to make a quick story out of it, and Scott gets overexcited. Uber excited.
I was because I was.
I hope you find out all about the pea crabs tonight.
Well, I am because I would actually go and do some research and because that it interests me.
You know what he'll be doing at work tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll get a long text tomorrow.
while the tractor's driving itself.
Yeah. Working my ass.
All right.
Anyway,
All right, we're talking guillotines. We're talking guillotines, Scott. We're off the P crab. We're off the P crab. All right, we're talking about movies about bands, basically documentaries too. We can throw those in there.
Yep.
So mine, the year and a half.
We're gonna go with Trey first.
All right, let's go with Trey.
Are we? Okay.
Well, no, we can go Carol first. Anybody but Chris.
Trey can go first.
All right, I'll go first. Mine would be Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, that's a good one.
That one just came out, and as a huge Queen fan, obviously, and I specifically wore this outfit because Freddie Mercury he's always in his Adidas. Let me see if I can get my foot up there in that camera there. So I'm wearing all Adidas today except for my Run DMC shirt, but Adidas for Freddie Mercury. But the Bohemian Rhapsody movie, I loved it. No matter how much they fabricated some things or stretched some things, you have to do that for a movie.
You think they fabricated?
Absolutely. Well, you have to for a movie. I mean, some things are going to be a little more dramatized
with
than
movie,
they actually were.
Who was the guy who played Freddie Mercury? What was his
Malik. Rami Malik.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job.
He was good. My problem with him was I couldn't get over the shape of his eyes, and he was too short. I thought to be Freddie Mercury, and then he's got the big kind of bulgy bags under his eyes, but and that actually bothered me.
And the teeth,
not to him. Well, he had prosthetic teeth in, but it didn't make me think that he shouldn't be the guy because of the way his eyes look. But it was distracting for me. And I'm sure it was for other people too, but he did a fantastic job. Yeah, you're right.
I thought he did too, but also like the beginning of the movie where it was doing the was it the Farm Aid show?
Yeah.
Do you remember at the end of the movie that they went back and showed like the split screen with him and with Freddie Mercury, how they got like the performance down, almost like tit for tat. I mean, it was. It was watching the end of that movie. I thought I was like, well, they did some studying.
Well, there's right. Well, there's watch. And there were these like really, real famous poses and shots, photos that were taken
of Freddie Mercury.
Certain poses of Freddie Mercury. Iconic. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, and they put that in, and so they made sure that Malik did. These things, but who was on the set throughout like the entire show was Brian May and the drummer. I forget his name.
So the original members,
two of them.
Yeah, two of them.
Yeah, the bass player has kind of been like he kind of disappeared after Freddie Mercury died.
Yeah, but Freddie Mercury was famous for having like the
top part of the mic stand.
Yeah, that's just it, just the bar.
Which I always thought that Axl Rose kind of stole that idea or borrowed that idea from, because he had the top part of a microphone stand that was like a triangle.
Somewhat.
It wasn't the bottom part of the stand; it was just the top. Yeah. I kind of thought that was maybe a tribute to Freddie Mercury,
and it might have been. You remember the what was it the tribute show they had for Freddie Mercury?
Yeah, where Axl and Elton John sang together.
And it came out.
You had that. Metallica was there. Mm-hmm. You had Extreme. You
David
had a
Bowie.
bunch of bands. Yeah. That was actually a cool show. I think it was at Wembley Stadium.
And Axl came out.
I think so.
Yeah.
And
he had the jersey on.
Well, they had the actual, like Guns N' Roses performed a couple songs earlier in the day, but then at the end of the night they had the Queen, the remaining Queen members performing their own songs, and they had, like they had James Hetfield come out on Stone Cold Crazy.
Cold Crazy,
yeah, and then they did, with Bohemian Rhapsody. I think they had Axl Rose come out. Yeah, he come out on the end part, the part that kicks in.
That's actually on the subject I'm talking about, but go ahead.
But that whole concert was badass. It was. I mean,
did John Deacon come back for that show? I don't remember.
I don't.
I'd have to look it up.
I have to go back and look and see.
Because I remember. Well, even back then, I mean, Brian May and even Roger Taylor, they were more characters, just like Freddie Mercury was obviously the star character, but they were both characters, and John Deacon was always kind of in the back. And did you ever see the Weird Al movie that just came out with Daniel Radcliffe playing Weird Al? Yeah. Weird Al Yankovic.
Playing Weird Al Yankovic?
Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe did?
Yes. Harry Potter, yeah.
No, what's the movie called?
It's like it's a documentary spoof.
So is it based off of Weird Al?
Yeah. It's supposed to be like the story of Weird Al, like how he got his start and became a huge superstar, but it's a spoof of a documentary. And so there's all these little parts that everybody knows that are kind of realistic, but then there's stuff thrown in. Like he ends up in, I don't know, Colombia, not South Carolina, but the country, like doing he's fighting off a drug cartel or something like that.
What the hell?
There was so he did the Madonna's Like a Virgin, and there was a part where it was actually they had
it was like a surgeon.
Yeah, but they had a love interest, and so they were like lovers or something. And anyway, the reason I'm brought that movie up, the only reason I brought it up, is because there's a part where Weird Al and Dr. Demento, who was his guy, go to this party with all these other musicians, people like Alice Cooper, and Wolfman Jack is there. Wolfman Jack is Jack Black. And a guy playing John Deacon comes up because one of Weird Al's songs was, oh my God, Riding a Bus. Hold on, I got to think about this. They're talking about how he makes funny songs based on other songs, and all of a sudden I just had a brain freeze thing, and so I can't remember the name of the song. But
that shot you just drank. But go ahead.
Yeah, that 0.6 out, whatever it was. But anyway, so John Deacon is portrayed in that movie.
I love Weird Al. I love that Amish Paradise.
Yeah.
I turned butter once or twice, living in the Amish Paradise.
Weird Al was great. Great. He was.
Cheryl Meyer kicked me in the butts last week. I just smiled at him and I turned the other cheek. I wish him well because I've been laughing my head off when it was burning in hell.
Actually, Weird Al Yankovic was the first.
Oh, my God.
Weird Al Yankovic's Fat album was the first.
I'm fat.
Yes, was
fat.
Was the first vinyl album I ever bought.
Oh, really?
Oh, was
it? Sure was. Yeah, because I was a big fan. I mean, you can get that from my sense of humor sometimes, but I
was a big Weird Al fan.
I used to lay in the bed at night with my little radio and listen to the Dr. Demento show. So I heard all that and Tiny Tim and those characters. So I listened to all that stuff when I was younger, when I was a kid. So when I got the ability to buy my first album, which came from Birdland Music, which we talked about before. Wait a minute, was it? Anyway, that was my first album, was Weird Al's Fat.
So that was the first album you bought?
First album I paid for, yeah. I had, but at home now I had Led Zeppelin and the Beatles and Uriah Heep and Deep Purple. Like I had all this stuff like that, Styx and REO Speedwagon. But the first one that I bought for myself.
First album that you bought was Weird Al
Yankovic, yep.
How do you pronounce his last name?
Yankovic.
Yankovic.
Yeah.
Can you spell it?
I can, yeah.
Go ahead.
What's your song? What's your movie?
I'm trying to get you to spell Yankovic. Yankovic.
I don't really want to.
I don't think we need a spelling bee right now.
Yeah. The last thing we need to do with Chris is have a spelling bee.
Let's have a spelling contest.
It's Yank, like Yank.
What you got, Carol?
YANK.
Like Yank.
You looking at it?
OVIC.
Yank was what you used on the cruise a lot. Yank.
Ovic.
I'm not messing with you, Scott.
Yankovic.
Oh, yeah. It was Yank, and I guess the guy's name was Vic.
Yank.
Oh, Vic.
Yankovic.
All right, 103. Cut that part
out. Do you remember him, though, Chris?
Who?
Vic. The one you got.
So for me, moving along.
Oh, he's quiet on that.
So I like to show
he's like,
the Doors.
I'm not
oh, yeah. Val Kilmer.
I think he done a...
Val Kilmer, a great actor.
Good job.
And I think
he did a great job as Jim Morrison, too.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best roles
about that
he
movie.
ever played. It was fantastic. It was a very good movie. Very good.
You remember who some of the other actors who played the rest of the members in the band?
I don't really remember any of the other ones.
I think the one who played the drummer was Matt Dillon's brother.
Bob Dylan?
Yeah.
Harry
That's his
Dillon.
cousin. What's up?
Yeah. That's right. You're right.
I didn't realize that, but
Yeah, but I think the one who played the drummer was Matt Dillon's brother.
What was the drummer's name
Bobby?
for the Doors? Because I've got the cast list up here right now. I'm just looking at it. I mean, he's the one.
Robbie Krieger was a guitar player, wasn't
he? Yeah.
How do you know this?
Frank, I don't recognize any of these names.
I'm not a big Doors.
that
I'm not a big Doors fan. There's certain songs the Doors have.
Well, Ray Manzarek was the keyboard player.
He was a keyboard player.
Yeah.
But
And
wasn't
then-
Robbie Krieger, was he the guitarist?
He must have been
Or was he
Was he the drummer?
No, they didn't have a bass player, correct?
No, they didn't have a bass player.
Yeah, it was just keyboard, guitar, and it was
Bass players.
Who was
bass players as well. too.
Robbie
Optional.
Krieger? To me, rings some kind of name.
Oh, he was a guitar player. Oh, yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
The problem is I just looked at a picture, but it was showing a picture of the actor like today, not back then, and so it just totally messed me up.
So
But yeah, Robbie Krieger.
Yeah.
Was a guitar player. Drummer was John Dinsmore.
John Dinsmore. See, I don't remember.
I don't know who he is.
Yeah,
Must
but
have sucked.
Ray Manzarek was the organ player. Robbie Krieger, guitarist. John Dinsmore. Bass guitar was Patty Sullivan.
I guess in the studio, but live they didn't have a bass player.
Right. Well, the organ was doing that.
Yeah.
This is unacceptable, Carol.
You hear a phone vibrate and everybody looks at their phones. And I was, where's mine? I thought it was mine.
But no, the Doors. That was still. The movie was great. I thought.
it was a great movie, and I thought Val Kilmer played a good part.
I got to see this. Y'all talked about it a couple of episodes ago. I got to see this movie.
Yeah, and even
Val Kilmer is actually he's a great actor.
You said that 7 times.
Because he is.
But I think that was one of his best roles. I mean,
And
may
also
not be, but
and Tombstone.
That's not. Tombstone was his best role.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll be your Huckleberry.
He didn't say it like he was bisexual.
Actually said I'm your Huckleberry.
Yeah. Why do you say it like that? I'm your Huckleberry.
that was
Picky,
a
my
good
stinky.
role also.
Back
Chris,
door.
I'm not like you.
So actually, so speaking of Tombstone, so I've actually been to Tombstone, and I actually have been to Jim Morris's gravesite.
Prove it.
No, we talked about that once.
And
Actually,
I can't.
You got
prove it.
pictures?
I do.
It
Got
didn't
pictures.
happen.
It happened because I got pictures.
Okay. Can you post them tomorrow on the site?
I can post them.
All right. I'm ready for them.
I can.
It's fake Photoshop.
It could be Photoshop, but actually, well, and even the little sign that says Hartsville, South Carolina that we put up there. And, the fingers look like mine, too, holding the little sign, but it could be Photoshop.
Photoshop's gotten so good these days.
It
Yeah.
has.
Start calling you Uncle BS.
That was 2011, I think, when I think that was 2011. He's going to call me Uncle BS. I'm going to call him Cousin G-A-Y.
All right, who are we missing? Are we missing anybody? yet?
Yeah.
Missing me. I haven't said anything yet.
Go
Scott.
ahead. What you got, Scotty?
All right. Well,
Man, that was great. Let's move on.
no. What I was thinking about, and it's actually there's a couple of them. It's the Elton John movie. We were talking about it earlier.
The musical?
What was the name of it? Was it Yellow Brick Road or
no
Rocket Man? Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
Yep, Rocket Man. That's correct.
Did
Yeah.
you watch that?
I ain't watched that movie yet.
Yeah, I watched it,
I did.
and I liked it up until the part where Elton John was playing. It was at the Troubadour or the Whiskey or somewhere in L.A. And like he levitates, and then the whole crowd levitates.
I mean, you got to be open-minded. Chris, can you explain to him how to be open-minded?
Well, at that point, I was like, okay. Me and Sierra were watching, and we watched it up until that point. We were like, the movie's okay. It has a lot of singing, which we expected that being an Elton John movie, that it would be like a musical, you know. And so we were watching, we're like, okay, this movie's not bad. When it got to that part, though, for whatever reason, I was just like, all right, I'm done.
You stopped watching right there?
Yeah, I cut it off. I was like,
maybe he was on roofies or something. You was looking through his eyes and he see the crowd levitating.
Yeah, maybe, and maybe that was what they were trying to portray in the movie was that this was the point that Elton John became like a superstar. It was like
a phenomenon.
He rose up, and then like the whole crowd. It shows like the crowd. Everybody raises up too. Also, you know, like levitates up, and the crowd's like you know they're floating. You know, I guess it's supposed to represent like this. This is the what the hell?
Oh my God!
I guess that was his Elton John tribute. What the hell was that?
Oh, for our listeners,
I had to get some
I
ice.
wish you could view what I have viewed.
They may have.
Fruit of the Looms.
Haynes.
The bad thing is, Trey, when you were doing it,
Oh,
you
my
didn't say
God.
Chris was licking his lips.
Oh, God.
Trey skipped leg day and the tanning bed.
Because that's what I was thinking. Because I didn't even see you.
Froghorn
I was
Leghorn
looking I was
legs.
looking at Chris. Chris was looking that way, and he was licking his lips. I was like,
I was
the hell's he
not.
licking his lips for? And then I looked over and saw you bent over.
With my pants down.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, that makes sense now.
I'm like, I can't think. Just messed my whole stuff up right now. What the hell was you talking? Somebody.
I was talking about the Elton John movie. Anyway, that's over with.
I heard levitating and that's it.
Yeah.
Some people probably really like that part of the movie, though.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. I didn't.
Trey's legs would have been better.
I got
I
nice
didn't
legs.
get that part. I mean, like
God.
I say, I can understand what the symbolism meant, but
Right.
to me, it was.
So you never went back
It
and
was
watched
cheap.
the rest of the movie?
No, I think we cut it off after that. We were like, okay. Yeah.
Damn.
Did you ever
Seen
watch
enough.
Studio 666?
No, never watched that piece of shit.
You just don't know damn good movies then.
Imagine he's going to sit down and watch Studio 666 with a $7 bottle or a $7 jar of cheese puffs.
Yeah.
I couldn't get that out. I couldn't say it for some reason.
Snowball.
I curse you for that.
I'm gonna eat all these damn cheese balls, $7. I'm gonna get my money's worth. All right,
As
so
it hits on the table.
year and a half of life of Metallica is mine, and
Why did you choose that one?
I was young. Well, I still hell, I watched it it was a couple months ago. I watched it again because I love music, and when it came out,
I heard your cousin Lil Wayne would love to see that.
yeah, oh yeah,
That's
he was
actually
static.
That's actually one of the. That's actually one of the best
documentaries movies, yeah.
about it because it the first part shows them in the studio recording.
Yep.
And I mean it shows a lot of stuff.
Details on what they used to do, how they put reels together.
Oh yeah, if you being in the band, love playing, you want to see,
You want to live that life. I wanted to be them.
When you see your idols, people
Yeah.
people that you love, seeing actually in a studio, seeing them sit there and argue over like a riff or something, or recording
Like
some
nothing's
part of a song.
perfect.
Yeah. It's
what you hear on the album.
To me, that was one of the best DVDs I think I've ever watched as far as a band. It was like, you see all this stuff going on behind the scenes in the studio.
How many times did you watch that documentary?
I probably watched it 100 times.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched it more than once in 1 week?
More than once in 1 week.
Yeah. Have you ever watched it twice?
I think when it come out, I probably watched it
every day.
Probably.
It is good.
But it's got all the elements. It's got
it's got that. They had the first part where it's there. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm enjoying hearing what you had to say because I really like it.
Well, I know because this excites me because
like pea crabs.
God damn it! No, don't get him started again on a pea crab.
I know, but I think Metallica when they came out with this was like something I wanted to see on the rest of
and
my
this
favorite.
was because Black Album had done come out, and this is how they made the Black Album.
Yeah, this was the recording of the Black Album,
right?
And then they went from that to the second part was the touring aspect, showing them on the road, going touring, and then winning the Grammys. Doing the Grammy shows and all. But I mean, to me, that was when they released that, I was like, this is what I wish the rest of my favorite bands would do.
Yeah.
So you could see all the backstage, not just the concert thing. See all the backstage.
The work
that goes into it.
I think Metallica did it right when they did that because it showed, everything. Them, recording the album, it showed the mistakes. Like one of my favorite parts was where, they're recording. I think it was they're cutting the drum tracks for Was it
when the snare broke?
Yeah, was it Unforgiven? Was it the song?
Yeah,
or was it
shoves the stick through it?
So close.
The Unforgiven, or it might have been. Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, not Unforgiven, but God Almighty. Never nothing else matters.
Nothing else matters. That's right.
Might have been that. Yeah, where he's hitting the snare and all of a sudden,
and he gets angry.
Yeah, he gets like and
stabs it through the snare. Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts.
It's like Bob Rock, who recorded album, talking about, let's take 20 minutes for change the snare drum, but I mean it shows all that stuff that the backstage stuff.
One thing I loved about it, and it was the whole first album. They would get there at 7:00, but Lars wouldn't put a stick in his hand until like 10:00 at night, because he would show up late. He would take a shower, get on his robe, and they would be there waiting for him.
Back then, did he have somebody put the robe on for him and take it off like he does now?
No, but it actually showed him coming out the shower, coming on, and nobody ever had a problem with it on the video. It was like, well, this is just how it is. We'll sit here and fucking drink and stuff. Well, and then, but they'll start talking crap. Like Lars don't put a stick in his hand until 10:00. It's supposed to be in there at 7. And then Bob was like, well, it's 11:00. Let's go ahead and start rocking. We're up at 11:00. We're the only one that's up. Let's make this album.
That whole thing it's awesome. I think I've watched that I don't know how many times.
And did you see where they got paid in cash? And Kirk Hamilton's like, yes, let's go buy some drugs.
Yeah. Money, give me the money.
Yeah, just hundreds. Let's go buy some drugs.
From the record company, it's like you go on the road, how you get a per diem. Bands,
they get like a cash per diem.
A per diem.
Yeah.
Cash per diem.
You got to live.
Yeah, it's the same way. You wouldn't. I didn't think it was that way for bands, but it's like we get a per diem from the record company.
Yeah,
they give us so much money.
Per diem is tax free, so it's it's what it costs you to live on the road. I'm sure it don't cost me as much to live on the road as it does Metallica, but
this the mute. It just went deep. Sometimes it went personal, like especially on the touring aspect. James Hetfield was like, I had fun, but sometimes I hate it because I wake up, I don't know who this person's next to me. I got a show to do tonight. I'm completely hungover. It's like that every night. And at my age, I was like, man, I want to be them. I want to do all of that. That's what I want to do.
It was, but for me, I think that year and a half of the life of Metallica, it was like the best video
in
showing,
depth, yes,
going in depth, showing a band what they go through
behind the glitz and glamour that everybody sees on stage and in the video.
But also it shows them, like, the first part was them in the studio, so it shows all that with them recording all, and then it goes to them touring for that album.
Yeah, the second
and
half.
Showing everything the
fruits of the labor.
Yeah, that goes with the touring too.
What I loved about it, here's one part I'll remember. It went so in depth of them recording. Bob Rock can pick up Jason Newsted's pick, and he couldn't stand it. He was like, he just couldn't get it out. He's like, damn it. They built a foam wall around it. It's just a small, they cut up 4 pieces of foam and kind of put him in a little cage and duct tape it.
Put it around while they recorded
and it took the pick out. And I thought that was just so cool.
Oh, you mean the sound of the pick actually striking the string?
Because he didn't play with his finger, he played with the pick.
Yeah, like when he was recording the bass tracks, it was he kept hearing the
pick,
the pick sound striking the chord.
And it was like 10 minutes of that Bob Rock trying to figure out how to take
it. We need to try and take that out, And so they put up a foam wall, just 5 foot, by 4.5 foot thick foam
wall.
Just
And
like they built it around
like a perimeter,
so you could cut out that
and also
pick sound.
He talks about the bass, the drop, the level, because the Black Album had the most awesome sound of drums.
We keep hearing that bell, but I guess we're going to keep ignoring it.
This is my last one. This is my last fact.
It's not a guideline. It's more of a suggestion.
So Bob, he was like, man, I got to have more bottom end. I got to have. He's like, I'm tapped out on the board. I can't do. And he thought about it, and they was in this big room in California somewhere, in L.A. And he was like,
actually, I think we were in Canada.
Were they? Oh, well, Canada. Well, and he was like, what about them U-Haul blankets? He said, let's go buy a bunch of U-Haul blankets and put them up on the wall for, to keep the sound from bouncing, because I want it to be solid. And they did it, and he was like, that's what I was looking for. That's what I was missing. He said, this is what I want, and that's where, it's just cool looking at the tricks and the trades of how he wanted manipulating the sounds and it's just so in depth. That show, that whole album deal they did, the VHS tapes, it was just so in depth. It was one of the best ones I've ever seen.
It is, and I agree with you on it.
It was crazy. But man, I could talk about this all night. It's getting late. I got to work in the morning.
You want me to pick you up?
We already had the bell from Trey twice.
Yeah, he's scolding us
3
now.
times.
We're getting the look.
There's 4.
All right, man. That was a good show tonight. Had a great time. Carol, we're going to miss you, man. He is now Canadian.
Not yet.
He has poutine and fries every night for dinner. How do you pronounce it? Poutine. Fries and poutine. Poutine and fries. You want the poutine first or the fries next?
Fries.
Fries and gravy.
Gravy on the fries.
Nah, he ain't going nowhere. We're gonna video call him in sometime.
We'll be piping him in one way or another.
Piping him in.
That means coming down the pipe, not going up the pipe.
Yeah.
All right,
that means Chris will be him every once in a while coming in.
You got the numbers for that?
Yeah, trust me, this whole last segment is going to be cut all up. And this one's going to be even worse because the music playing in the background. How am I going to make that work? I guess there'll be a beep in there.
All right, there's nothing wrong with that.
I said a beep in there. I said
there it is again.
Whatever.
We got to jump off here. It's getting late. This is Guillotines and Guitars, and we're out.